place in the ocean. According to the US National Geographic and Atmospheric Administrations, some currents are directly responsible for specific climate effects like the Gulf of Mexico.
Then we can say that its biodiversity is also incredible. The ocean is home to a wealth of life. According to the National Institute of Health at the US National Library of Medicine, more than 91% of the species in the ocean have not yet been described. Yes, this is mainly due to the vastness of the oceans, and the number of undiscovered creatures living in the sea could easily run into the millions.
Okay, we can also say that the sea is an important source of food. Of course, fish is a part of the daily menu of billions of people around the world, and it accounts for almost 16% of all animal protein consumed in the world.
And finally, it creates millions of jobs. By 2013, according to an OECD report, the ocean industry will employ over 14 million people worldwide. Most of these jobs are expected to be created in the fisheries sector, followed by tourism and renewable energy. The ocean economy is particularly important in developing countries.
Okay, so to conclude, we can say that challenges such as climate change or pollution and simple ignorance of sustainable ocean management techniques continue to threaten marine resources that limit the potentials of socio-economic benefits of these resources for future generations, while stifling livelihood opportunities in the present. But an ocean for us, it's a healthy ocean and it means a healthy life, so it's time to act.
Hello, my name is Gloria and Aurélie. I'm going to tell you about the relationship between Réunionnais and the sea. We have in Réunion Island a quote who illustrates what seems to characterize the relationship of the Réunionnais to the sea.
Créole, il tourne le dos à la mer.
Which we can translate as the Creole turned its back to the sea. Indeed, until the 1960s, a very important part of the population didn't know how to swim. We can say that it's strange because the Réunionnais is a population largely exposed to the sea. We can explain this by, first of all, the fear of pirates, who often attract the territory in the 18th century. Furthermore, the main factor in the fear of our ancestors is the trauma of colonization. In the fact, Réunion Island has been populated by force. African slaves were brought here by French colonizers in order to be exploited in coffee or sugar plantations. And the crossing of the oceans took place in deplorable conditions. Many will die during the crossing. So the collective memory of the transportations have not forgotten all these negative experiences and has transmitted the idea of the sea as being a place of dangers. However, today, there's more and more activity on the sea. The mentality of today's Réunionnais about the sea has evolved.
It seems the Réunionnais people are gradually quitting their relationship with the sea. Some sports, such as surfing, which is the emblem of certain events at the meeting. The presence of sharks on the coast of the Réunion is a new threat, as Réunion sharks have strengthened their relationships with the sea and are increasingly involved in water sports. Sharks quickly become a very big fear for the Réunionnais. Many actors intervene. Some things it is necessary to fish sharks, and other, on the contrary, that is necessary to protect them. This prompts the Réunionnais to create institution that protect the environment and knowledge of the maritime heritage. Museums like Kelonia and Stella Matutina act to preserve our marine animals. To protect the people of Réunion, the state has created a space reserved for people so that they can enjoy the lagoon without fear.
Hi again. I'm going to talk about seabirds because in Réunion Islands, the sea is not only characterized by its marine species like fish, but also by its marine birds. Indeed, there is, for example, the paillenqueux, the most emblematic. This seabird is a protected native species and is the emblem of the city of Saint-Denis and appears on its logo. It is easily recognizable thanks to his straw-like tail. There are also the pétrel barreau and the pétrel noir, who are seabirds endemic to Réunion Islands, which next is the height of the Piton des Neiges. These birds always take off from a cliff, from where they can fly away. It is during this flight that the losses are greatest, as the birds are very sensitive to the light from houses and stadiums. This is why there is an association in Réunion Islands, which name is CSEOR. Every year, SEOR organizes La Nuit sans lumière, which means night without lights, which consists of turning down or even turning off the lights so as not to disturb these birds.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
Hi, I'm Benedict.
And hi, I'm Fuji. So now we are going to show a video that all of the three of us made about whales.
Hello.
Hola. Hi. Today we are going to talk about whales. First, whale season. Whale season in the Indian Ocean happens every year from June to October. The whales use the Indian Ocean to warm up and give birth. After that, all of them travel all the way back to their natural habitat, which is Antarctica.
On the coast of Réunion, it's possible to observe the whales dance in many places, particularly in the south. In the same way, the whole west coast of Réunion makes it possible to indulge in the spectacle. There are also boat trips organized to observe the whales into the scaring them away.
Its presence in the ocean is rather positive. It means that the place is healthy and that there is no problem. Its excrement cleans the water and ensures the development of many species that feed on it, such as plankton. In addition, the whale plays a considerable role in the fight against global warming, as it absorbs no less than 33 tons of CO2.
However, the number of whales is far too small to beat global warming. If human activity could be reconciled with that of the whales, it could have a considerable impact on a number of points, such as increasing the number of whales, increasing fishery resources, and greatly slowing global warming. It's the end. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Hi, my name is Capucine, and we would like to present you a special center, Colonia, which is at the same time an observation center, a museum, and a shelter for turtles. It have a strict population policy because it have a maximum of 40 turtles and 4 turtles per pool. The park is divided in 3 parts. The first part is a promenade that exposes the turtle life. The second part is both a museum and an observatory center. And the third part is covered with recovery pools that are closed to the public.
So, as Capucine said, there is a museum, and it is composed of a pool that we can find here, and there is also a place in where we can find some information about the turtles with the different species, their specificities, etc. Voilà.
And the third part is the take care parts, I would like to say. Colonia first mission is to rescue injured turtles, to take care of them and free them when they are fully recovered. And their second mission is to protect the lying ponds, the lying sites, to encourage the reproduction of turtles. And they do so by replanting endemic plants.
To conclude, we can say that Kelonia is an indispensable site for the preservation of the turtles present in Reunion Island. So far, more than 320 turtles have been saved thanks to Kelonia. Voilà.
Hi, my name is Romy.
Hey, I'm Elisa.
Hi, my name is Emma. Here. We made a video about our lagoon of Saint-Pierre and also the different types of fish that we can observe. We don't say all the fishes because it's very long and we had a time limit. So enjoy the video.
Hello.
Hallo,
Hola.
witam.
Hey.
Welcome to Reunion Island. Today we are in Saint-Pierre Beach to present you the lagoon. We also have other lagoons in Saint-Gilles and Saint-Leu, where you can swim in protected zones of sharks. The lagoon is delimited by the coral reef, which is 25 kilometers long.
No more than 500 meters wide, with a depth of about 1 to 2 meters. Certain parts are protected by associations such as Lobis for the citizen, Cetanu for the marine wildlife, and Seah for the seabirds. So, let's get Johnny digging.
Here you can observe demoiselles in Acropora humilis, corail branchu in French. They are very curious, so don't panic if they come very close to you.
Trumpet fish, trompette in French.
Idol of the Moors, Idole des Morts in French. You recognize the villain in Nemo? It's him!
Balloonfish, poisson ballon in French.
So we have finished. It's your turn now.
Thank you very much. Wonderful pictures, wonderful impressions.
And of course, if you have any questions, we are here to answer.
Si lo vas a necesitar, a Skype, a ver si tenemos ya puesto. ¿Qué abres, coño? Good morning. We are from Spain, and we are going to show you what we are doing in our school to make people aware of the importance of climate change in our country. It all goes back to about the 18th century, the discovery of fuels such as coal, and the development of inventions such as a steam engine completely transformed our way of life. The revolution was a revolution for man in all its aspects. It changes the way of producing, consuming, traveling, and that also had an impact on the planet.
The invention of the locomotive and the first trains increased the demand of coal. Emissions skyrocketed and have not stopped growing until today, more than 200 years, throwing doses of CO2 into the atmosphere. Although the temperature is increasing natural, we contribute to it also net greenhouse gas emissions.
Pollution is a global problem and we should be aware of it. Doing simple things every day is very convenient and you can help the planet. It cannot be reduced completely, but we can give you some tips.
Use the public transport anytime that can be made by bicycle or walking is less pollution than any car. Care for green areas in city. Many of you they function as a ocean land of urban center. They don't generate as much oxygen as in the countryside, but they can help absorb CO2.
At home, use energy-saving type bulbs. This will give you the same light through the use of efficient energy. Do not waste water, and in summer, use air conditioning rationality.
In our high school, we have made a study regarding the carbon footprint produced by us and how we students can improve the situation on a healthy basis. The result of the surveys will be presented by the rest of the groups.
Hi, I am Diana, and I'm going to present you guys with my classmate Andrea. We're going to talk about plastic. So we wanted to start with this famous quote that a marine biologist said. It is the most of times, but it is the best of times because we still have a chance. This was the survey that we did around our high school, and these are the results. So the question was, how do you bring lunch to class? And most people bring it in aluminum foil. Then another question was, how do you drink water? In a bottle, or do you use your own bottle? And then the question was if you buy bulk or packaged products, and the most answer was the second one.
Hi, I am Andrea. I'm going to talk about some curiosities. The first one is 1 million bottles of water are consumed every minute. 19% of seabirds have ingested plastic. Then it takes 150 years for a plastic bottle to degrade in the sea. And by 2050, there will be more plastics than fish in the sea. Impact on our health. Plastics incorporate many chemical substances that might be toxic.
Some might produce early puberty in girls and a deficit in the sperm of boys. Some interfere with the cerebral development and fetuses and children. And many are toxic, so they reach the sea and they're reabsorbed in fats and incorporated in the trophic chain.
Impact on the habitats. The impact produced by the remains of lost, abandoned, or discarded fishing gear should be highlighted. They particularly affect coral reefs in tropical areas, which are the habitat of numerous species. Impact on the fauna. Hooks, intake, damage to the habitat, dispersion of invasive species.
The impact on the economy has three consequences. It increases the cleaning cost for the town halls. The tourism will definitely be lower, and ghost fishing because many species are trapped in fishing nets.
Plastics in numbers. Every year, between 8 and 12 million tons of plastic waste reach the oceans. In Spain, 30 million straws are consumed every day. Worldwide, 1 billion supermarket bags are produced every year. The Coca-Cola company produced 127 billion plastic bottles in 2017. 1 million plastic water bottles are consumed every minute.
These are two pictures that we chose, and there are alternatives that you can use instead of plastic. And finally, the conclusion is that despite the use of plastic in our daily life is undeniable, we should try our best to reduce and recycle plastic, because otherwise these negative results that it causes will only be worse when time goes by.
Hello, I'm Ada, and now I'm going to talk about eco-social ethics. And first, I'm gonna talk what does it consist of. And well, eco-social ethics is a global project of personal self-realization and social construction of integration in the universe, which transforms our relationship with the biosphere and with other living beings. In order to learn how aware of their food are the students in our high school, we designed a poll with different questions and asked them to some students of different classes in diverse grades. So the first question we asked was whether the students were aware of what they ate. Most people answered yes, and 88.9% of people, to be more precise. This shows that most people know what they are eating and are aware of the origin of their food. Secondly, we asked the students if some kind of eco or bio products are bought in their families and supermarkets. In more than a half of the students' homes, bio and eco products are bought, alongside with conventional products. As we expected, no one buys exclusively eco or bio products. Then we asked students if they think food is wasted at their homes. Most of the people answered that they waste little to no food. But must be remarked that some people answer that they waste a lot, which is a really problematic attitude. Lastly, we asked the students if they are conscious of the damage the planet suffers whenever we waste food. And 60% of the students answered that they are aware of how harmful is wasting food. Nearly 40% of the students aren't aware of the seriousness of this matter. This is precisely why we think Earth Day is more important now than ever, as we must teach young people the importance of a green and ecological society.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the energetic waste. We made a forum in Google and we sent to families and students. Our purpose of the questions is that we want to know how related were the heights of the people in our surroundings between ages, and these were the results. Okay, question one, we ask how do you turn the lights when you leave home? Okay, when we said we leave home, we wanted to say in its room. The target was 80%, but we get so satisfied with 75%. Greatly, no one said never. And that's all. Question two. What meaning of transport do you use mainly? This was a very varied question, and as you can say, the 50% use or walking or car or bus. The best option for us was bus because it's more efficient than car. When one of your technological devices breaks, what do you do? I literally or I fix it. This we get a bit upset because almost 40% of the answers was I literally, and they don't even try to fix them. And we have a bonus question that says, are you conscious about overtake your phone? And this was very surprising because 66.7% of the people do overcharge their phones, and this is not very good because it can reduce their life expectation. Okay, to finish, we're going to say what we thought we have learned, and it's that we saw that most of the answers the people have how it's listed in the last question, as I said, because we saw that the majority of the answers were overtaking the phone. Thank you so much.
And that was the end of our presentations. Thank you for listening, and I hope you like it.
Les hemos encantado.
Und den Bildschirm teilen. Okay, we just check the technical stuff for a second. Und Systemaudio. Obwohl wir haben kein Audio, ne? Doch nachher, wenn wir das Video machen, das Insta-Ding.
Okay. Can you see our screen?
Jetzt. Gut.
Yes. Ich muss noch Mikro.
Mikro ist an.
Right.
Hello and welcome to our presentation. My name is Markus and our presentation is about the topic Invest in our forest for the Osation to the Earth Day. In Germany, many people spend a lot of time in the forest. Here you can see young people at the same age like us.
Ich kann nicht weiter. Wieso kann ich nicht weiter? Okay.
In Germany, many people spend a lot of time in the forest. Here you can see young people like the same age like us who are hiking through the forest and have a good time there. You can spend a good time in the forest and walking, cycling, or watching our unique environment when the plants turn into green in the spring. But in the reality, looks often like this because
Okay.
But the reality looks often like this because our forests struggle from desert and from pests, and it's too hot for the trees. The consequence is that you must fell the trees, and it looks like how you can see there in the picture.
This is Selena.
So my name's Dora, and I'm going to talk about the question why we should invest in our forests. There are many reasons, of course, but we've listed one of the most important ones that we should talk about today. Our forests, they are natural carbon sinks, so they protect our environment and help us get the air clean. The forests also keep biodiversity safe so that our environment doesn't destroy itself too fast. The forests also keep our water pure, but not only that, but they also travel. The forest makes the water travel through the whole world, and they're also natural fertilizers for every single piece we have on Earth, and they grow plants.
The forests protect and help us. How do they do it? Our forests are not only severely threatened by climate change, they themselves are also important climate protectors. With their needles and leaves, they filter the climate damage carbon dioxide from the air and spill it into oxygen and carbon. They release the oxygen back into the air. What other services does the forest provides for us?
Water conservation. Rainwater is filtered and cleaned through the soil and forest, resulting in clean groundwater. Soil protection. Forests protect against erosion and debris. That means the sliding down of masses of earth or falling rocks. Avalanche protection. In mountains, forests protect against avalanches. They stop them or slow them down. Flood protection. Forest slows down the flooding and stores a lot of water. Animal protection. Forests are a habitat for a lot of animal and plant species. They are home to 80% of all land-dwelling species. People protection. Forests ensure the survival of millions of people in extreme poverty. The forest provides food and products to sell. Climate protection. Forests have a balancing effect on our climate and clean the air. They determine water cycles. They store large amounts of carbon dioxide and thus reduce the greenhouse effect. They cool the entire world with most air. They handle dust and noise and ugly sights.
Are our forests in danger? Today, the tropical forests of the Amazon basin are almost coal-based. The second largest rainforest in the world in Africa is also being lost more and more. Rainforests take millions of years to form and are destroyed every minute. Why is it important to protect the forest? Protects settlements, people, roads, and resources, services our recreation, and provides forest owners with sustainable income with it would. It's also a habitat for animal and plant species. We use all these services of the forest free of charge. Many forests in Germany fulfill survival of these functions at the same time.
And we also have a little video.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
Powiedzcie, jak się nazywacie i ten, nie?
Wiesz, to...
Mikrofon.
Już włączony. Hi, we're from Poland. I'm Michał, and this is
Agata.
And today we'll be presenting technologies for Earth. So let's get on with it.
Okay, I would like to start with the topic of hydrogen. On this slide, we can see the use of hydrogen in various fields. Hydrogen is a chemical element known to everyone. Hydrogen as a fuel is used in reference to its function as an energy carrier that is released under the combustion process. Hydrogen has the highest heat of combustion and calorific value of known fuels. It has a very high diffusion coefficient in nitrogen, which, since nitrogen is the main component of air, results in a high flame speed. A mixture of hydrogen and air has a very wide explosive and flammable range. Here we can see a comparison between a hydrogen car and electric car. Hydrogen cars are really nothing more than electric cars because there's no internal combustion engine in them. A hydrogen car is powered by an electric motors, and hydrogen generates electric power in a fuel cell, but the difference is in how it's powered. Such cars are not able to travel long distances, which means they need to be recharged very often. Despite the fact that hydrogen is a common element, it's not easy to obtain in a form where it's actually suitable for refueling.
The next topic is biofuel. Biofuel is a fuel that is produced from a renewable material. Common biofuels include ethanol produced from corn, biodiesel from soybeans or vegetable oil, and biogasoline from animal fats. The benefits of using biofuels are that they help reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and the greenhouse gases that are emitted. Biofuels also help to reduce pollution in the air, water, and soil. Biofuel production also helps create jobs for people as well as improving our energy security by reducing our reliance on foreign oil. The disadvantages that are that biofuels are not completely renewable and they do need a large amount of land to be used. The main types of biofuels are as follows. First generation biofuel, ethanol, which is produced from sugarcane or sugar beet, which then undergoes a fermentation process to convert the glucose into ethanol. For this group belongs biodiesel produced from vegetable oils and animal fats. Second generation biofuel belongs to all biofuels produced from non-food materials. For example, biodiesel is produced from used cooking oil or bioethanol produced in enzymatic transportation form lignocellulosic materials. Biodiesel is the most common biofuel and can be used in diesel engines. For its production are used as small bioreactors. In oak, very fast generate lipid which can be used for biofuels production, both biodiesel and bioethanol. Biodiesel is a type of biofuel that's produced from soybeans or rapeseed oil. It has properties that are similar to diesel. Alternative fuels are known as non-conventional and advanced fuels. Are any materials or substances that can be used as fuels, other than conventional fuels like fossil fuels, coal, and natural gas. Some well-known alternative fuels include biodiesel, bioalcohol, methanol, ethanol, and butanol, refuse-derived fuel, or chemically stored electricity. Let's talk about the bioalcohol method, which can be interesting for you. Methanol and ethanol fuel are primary sources of energy. They are convenient fuels for storing and transporting energy. Various alcohols are used as fuels for internal combustion engines.
Dedicated energy crops are grown specifically for their utilization in energy conversion processes. They provide a source for the production of renewable energy, chemicals, and material due to their composition of sugars, lipids, proteins, and fibers. These crops are often referred to as cellulosic biomass and are further classified into herbaceous and short rotation wood crops. There are many advantages of planting energy crops. To begin with, it reduces the amount of carbon in the environment and causes improvement of air quality. Planting energy crops is also good for balanced ecosystem and sustainability. Energy crops give us relatively high volumes of material per acre, so it's quite economic.
And the last topic we'd like to talk about is the cost of biofuels. Depletion of fossil resources highlighted the development of the biofuels sector. The fuel can be classified as biofuel if it contains at least 80% renewable natural materials. They were introduced to protect the environment and ensure the renewal of liquid fuels. Unfortunately, the report prepared by non-governmental organizations proved that biofuels don't protect the environment and even act against it. The production of biofuels require a cultivation of high-energy crops that take up the space necessary for the cultivation of food crops. The result is higher food prices. The production costs of biofuels vary depending on the cost of raw materials, technology and scale. In most cases, biofuel production costs are now higher than the traditional fossil fuels alternatives. This is mainly due to undeveloped supply chains and lack of economies for sale. Expectations have been rising for some time that biofuels can become a cost-competitive alternative to traditional automotive fuels as their production costs go down, even more so as fossil fuels prices continue to rise. And thank you for your attention. We hope that the information provided can be useful in the future. And the people that did the presentation are Martyna Bux, Agata Jabłońska, Aleksandra Kośmider, Alicja Lundwicka, and Michał Doliński. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Can you see my screen too? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so my name is Linnea, and with this recent Earth Day in mind, we will be presenting the Sustainable System District Heating, which is a pretty environmentally friendly system used to heat up more than half of both commercial and residential buildings in Sweden, making it the most common source of heating. In Stockholm, 80% of the heating is actually generated by district heating. This is a sustainable system and an efficient and environmentally safe method for recovering energy from waste. In a district heating system, parts of towns or even whole towns are connected to a common pipe network. Instead of buildings being heated individually with oil or electricity, for example, the waste-to-energy solution distributes the heated water to everyone connected to the system. The result of this is that over 90% of the energy in the system is recycled or from renewable resources. In order to build a greener and overall better world, the global goals were introduced. Goal number 11 is about sustainable cities and communities. And it's also one of the most prioritized goals in Sweden today. Target 11.6 is about reducing the environmental impact of cities. By reprocessing and reusing waste and energy, the heat demand in a whole city can be satisfied. District heating is fueled by what would otherwise go to waste, such as waste from forests or household waste and excess heat from industry and data centers. This means that the waste-to-energy systems have given waste a value.
Due to the burning of biofuel and waste, the emissions of greenhouse gases from the electricity and heating sector are much lower than before. This means that the district heating systems are better in terms of the environment, since they don't contribute to, for example, climate change and air pollution to the same extent as many other energy sources. District heating is a sustainable system built on resource efficiency. Due to the ability to distribute heated water to everyone connected to the system, and the way it's fueled by what would otherwise go to waste, I believe that cities really can profit from district heating systems. Thank you. Vilken ska jag trycka? Stäng av.
So anyone else who wants to present? I guess this was it, right? So that was amazing. There were so many wonderful ideas and presentations. That was really great to see. So it took a little longer than we thought. Are you up for a discussion, or should we close the celebration right now? What do you think?
Well,
let's talk.
Actually, in Poland, we have to finish our classes soon, so we will not be able to take part in the discussion. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. What about the others? Are you prepared to stay longer, or do you have to close the presentation?
Up to stay.
Okay. So then, let's start. Give me my.
Do you have any question for us?
We already prepared some questions for all of you. So one of the questions is, what do you think about the different parts where we have to invest? Which of those actions is the most important one? And can we decide? Or is it all the same? What do you think? Okay, so let's do it this way. I would like to ask the Spanish students.
Bye
what
bye.
Do you think?
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Has everybody left?
Okay, let's ask the Spanish students first, okay? What do you think? Which one is the most important part? Is it the oceans? Is it the forest? Do we have to think about waste and energy? Or would you say we have to invest in all of these problems?
Oh, okay. Well, we think that everything is important to do, but protecting the seas are really important because we're practically all surrounded by water. And so it's what makes most of the planet, and it's one of the most important.
Good point. Absolutely. What does the Swedish school think? Oh, are those the ones who went away?
French.
The French. Okay.
Sorry, what did you say?
Which one is the most important thing we should invest in? Is it the oceans? Is it the forests? Is it the waste and energy issue? What do you think?
I don't know. Personally, I think that everything's important, but maybe the forests and the oceans. I think those are very crucial.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Okay. Let's move on. The next question comes in a second. Okay. The next question would be, do you have an idea what you would like to do to help the planet, to help the climate, and to help the forest and the ocean? Anything you can do personally? So we would like to ask the French school first in Réunion.
Okay, so we think that the most important action that we have to do first is to sensibilize the most people possible, and then to deal with the waste of plastic and the reuse of objects.
Good point, absolutely. The next question is, do you have an idea what you can do personally? So not the politics, but you in your personal life. Any ideas how to protect what we saw today? So the first question would go to the Spanish school. So any ideas what you can do in your personal life?
It seems they can't hear you.
Okay, thanks
No,
for the information.
no, sorry, otherwise you can hear them.
Oh, I didn't get that. Okay, so we turn to the Swedish school then, okay? Any ideas what you can do personally in your daily life to protect the forest, the ocean?
We need to learn more about the subject and how we can do things that will help the environment.
So should school help you or should parents help you?
I mean, both. You can take your own free time and learn about the subject, or the schools can have classes for it, or just some lessons that will teach you about the subject.
Yeah, I think that it's everyone's responsibility to educate yourselves and really think about what you do and how that affects the rest of the world.
Great point. Yeah, we should not rely on all the others. Everyone can do something on his or her own, right? Good point. Okay, I will ask the German students now if they have an idea what they can do personally to change the situation.
Yes, of course. I think we should use the bike and or go to work and don't use every time the car.
I think so too.
I think we should also recycle more and reuse products that we don't use anymore, or maybe just give them away to other people who are in need of them.
Thank you. Good ideas. So we should care of all the nature that is in our personal life every day, and not just for special action. So we can take care of that in the morning and in the evening, when we go to school, when we go home, when we do sports, when we sell and buy things. So it's important to have that in our mind all the time, right? Okay, so last question. How hopeful are you about the future? So do you think we can change something? Do you think the situation will get better if we all work together? That would be a question for Franz Regnon at first.
Can you hear us properly?
Yes, we do.
So, can you repeat the question?
Do you have hope? Do you have hope for the future? Do you think we can change the future?
I think for the Reunion Island, I think
to do, but it's very clearly the path we have to keep.
Thank you. And what about the Spanish school? What do you think?
And now, well,
now it's
wait a minute. We are thinking the answer.
Okay. So do
so.
this.
For the French answer, I think, we think that we have hope for the future, because if we all react, I think we should do something for our planet. So if all the people do little things for the planet, we could do a lot of things. And this is how it began. It's like one people act, two people act, and then all the planet act.
A small step for everyone and a giant leap for everyone.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. That's a good attitude. Absolutely. So the Spanish school, are you finished with thinking? Are you hopeful?
Yes, just like the French people said, we think if everyone does something to help the environment, in some years we may be able to fix the planet. But if things keep going the way they are, we are not going to get our planet healthy in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to do something right now, right? What do the Swedish people think? Are you hopeful?
Yes, we are. It's all about all the humans on the planet doing small things that makes a bigger impact on the environment. It's like you can ride a bike to school instead of taking the car, and eat more vegetables instead of meat, and just like small things instead of oh, I don't know, but we are hopeful for the future and about the environment.
Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of things to do every day. So if you do that, we have a chance. So we will ask the German students too. What do you think? Are you hopeful about the future?
Yes.
If we all work together, and yes, if we all work together, I think we can make it. But it's difficult, but I believe we can do it if we all work together.
I think when we go to the right way, then the world becomes better for all of us.
And little things can change a lot, even if we think that it doesn't. Just taking care of ourselves and our environment does a lot every day.
So that sounds really great, and it's wonderful for us teachers to hear that, because we want to create a beautiful future for you. And we think if we work all together, we can do that. So thanks for today. That was the celebration of the Earth Day. We had a wonderful time with you, and we hope we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
A ver, la grabación. ¿Dónde queda la grabación?
But is it possible to ask some question, please?
Absolutely.
Hay que mandar una reseña a Twitter y a Instagram de lo que se ha hecho hoy.
So, do you, in your high school, are the students often sensibilized about the ecology? And how?
Which school would you like to answer? Which one first?
Germany could start, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Okay, would you say that students are sensible for the environment?
Yes, I would say yes.
Yes, of course. In our class, we talk about the environment, and then we should take more the bike to go to school, and we hope that it's better in the future.
We talk about the environment generally in our classes, almost every single one, be it history or economics, anything. And we also talk a lot about what we can do about it. Also in English, we have had this topic before, so I think we're pretty much educated on this topic here.
So we would like to pass the question to Sweden then. Oh, it seems they are gone. So it's us and you, right? Okay, so another question for us.
Have you got class representative concerning the ecology issues?
I'm so sorry, but could you repeat that?
Yes. Do each class, have a representative to talk about ecology and maybe organize projects in the high school?
Yeah, we do. We call them Umweltbeauftragte. That means maybe agent of environment. So there's one in each class. And we try now, after the pandemic situation, to create a group of them so that they know each other and can work together. And this is the start of it, actually, after the 2 years we had now. So what about your school? Do you have someone who is responsible for the nature and the environment in every class?
So yes, we have. Here they are called eco-délégués. So it means ecology class representative. And we have maybe monthly reunion to talk about projects. For example, we did a small garden in the high school.
Oh, that is a wonderful idea. We would like that too, but we don't have the space for it. So we try with trees to plant some trees in the garden. That's our first step, but that's something pretty new. So it's just planning right now, and we don't have the trees yet. So we will start in 2 months with that. But that sounds very good, very nice. Is there another question from you?
We don't. Maybe you have?
Do you have any questions about the school in Réunion?
How often do you meet your other people who are for the environment in our school?
I think it's like monthly. So once in a month.
That's really good. And do you think that you're closer to nature because there is so much nature around the island Réunion? Do you think that helps you to be close to nature?
I think we're all very close to nature because there is a lot of forest that is protected, and even most students have individual gardens at home, and even the climate is favorable for everyone to walk in nature at any time of the year. So I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's a wonderful country. Yeah, so ask them.
Do you have problems with the water? It comes to the island and it's flooding about the island.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. Could you repeat, please?
Yes. Do you have problems with the water around the island? It's flooding around in the island and in the house, in the water.
Yeah, is there a problem with water? So do you have too much water sometimes?
Well, actually, sometimes there is cyclones on the island, so there is too much water in the rivers, etc., and it's often flooded. But in general, we don't have any problems with it, except that sometimes the rivers are a bit dry, but it gets better after a few days.
So nature is friendly in Réunion.
Yes.
That sounds good. Okay. Okay, so if there are no
The
more...
volcano is friendly.
Yeah, it is not too active, right? It's kind of silent now.
It is very active, like 3 times in a year, but it's not very dangerous, or we are used to it.
Okay, that sounds interesting. So if you have no more questions, then this would be the end of the celebration.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Has been a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good time. Bye.